Good afternoon, cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is going to be our review of The Ballad of Buster Scruggs that is on Netflix.
Yep.
And we are going to do our very best to try to explain the Coen brothers and what this ended up being. This is a written and directed for Netflix movie by Joel and Ethan Coen.
Right.
And a lot of people have complained about their last few movies. We've liked them. We've liked them a lot.
The last one, and I can't remember what the name of it was, that we went and saw in the movie theater, that was actually like one of the very first ones they ever wrote.
Yeah, I know. I remember
that one was, it was okay.
Okay. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
But it was one of their very first
right.
Movies. The one with the kids. No.
That's producer. We're just talk amongst yourselves while I look this.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
Suburbicon.
Suburbicon, yeah.
Which was okay, but it wasn't as good as I think everybody was hoping it to be.
Right.
We really liked Hail Caesar and
right.
the homage to the old.
Right. We like Burn After Reading and Hail Caesar and Men Who Stare at Goats. And
right.
We like their kind of odd sense of humor. But one of the things about the Coen brothers is you got to stick it out.
Right.
Right? Because you, like, 2/3 of the way, halfway through, you're like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think I like it. And then the payoff is always at the end.
Right.
With them.
Or sometimes not. What do we learn from this movie?
Well,
what do we learn from this story?
But at least the payoff there was that everyone else was just as confused as you were.
Right. So this particular movie is a kind of a cool, different view of storytelling. It is set in the Old West, and it is broken up into 6 chapters of a book.
5. Didn't we decide it was 5, not 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I wrote down all the titles of each of the chapters.
There was confusion last night.
There was confusion. There may have been drinks involved. But the story is told like chapters of a book, and they actually even show you the chapter in a book with the color palettes inside the book. Plates. That's right.
Plates.
And we both were like, anybody under like 30 is not going to know what this is.
Because the tissue paper is over the color plates so that when the book's all closed, it doesn't stick to the...
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. But each segment dealt with... do we want to say what it deals with? Because you can't not do a review. We're going to talk about this. It's now a spoiler review. If you want to not be spoiled, then thanks for watching for 3 minutes. The movie itself deals with death and the different versions of death, and each chapter deals with that different version. So the first one is about Buster Scruggs, who is the fastest gun in the West, and he's a singer, and he dances, and he gets along with everybody.
It's very Coen Brothers.
It's very Coen Brothers, and it's a good start. It's a really cool long panning shots of the vistas and the Monument Valley.
Yeah,
and
he's like playing his guitar and riding on his horse. His horse is just going along by itself, and he's playing his guitar and singing to himself and his horse as he's
just going along.
It's very 50s. It's Hail Caesar 50s Hollywood.
Yes, very 50s Hollywood. So that one particularly deals with there's always somebody
better, faster.
Somebody's always younger, better, faster, and death you'll always eventually die.
Right. Doesn't matter how badass you are.
Right. And it's really kind of, and each segment is a little bit different. One's like 20 minutes, and there's like one that's like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So just depending on how they're doing their storytelling.
And the whole thing was about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah.
The second one deals with it's called Near Allegons with James Algadins.
I think it's the name of it.
With James Franco, and that one deals with you can't cheat death.
Right.
No matter how much you try and how much you get out of it. And
right. It's still coming.
It's still coming. The third one is called Meal Ticket. It's got Liam Neeson and Harry Melling.
Yep.
Who played Dudley in the Harry Potter movies. So we had to look it up before we started because we're like, who is that? Why do we? Oh yeah, he lost all that weight.
Dudley, yes, and actually, a lot of weight for this role.
A lot of weight. He's missing some things. That one deals with
it's
kind of hard to explain.
Well,
that one.
It's not. I don't know if there's a name for it, but it's kind of like the whole when one person has to take care of another person, completely, totally take care of them, and how you have caretakers who will sometimes lose it and kill their patients or the person they're taking care of.
The wife who's tired of handling the husband and taking
or
care
vice
of all
versa,
and stuff like that. The fourth one was called All the Gold in the Canyon. Not a whole lot of talking in this one, but it dealt with cheating death.
Well, greed.
Greed,
killing someone over
greed.
What they have, and
the fifth one was called The Gal Who Got Rattled. It's about a lady who is going on her way to Oregon with the wagon train to get married off, and then her brother dies, and she ends up falling for one of the rustlers of the train, but then she kills herself because in a fit of panic.
Yes, so she's told Indians invade, and she's given a gun and told her, if
it goes bad,
you need to, end it because it won't end bad. It will end badly if they capture you, and you need to put it to your head. And she thought it went bad. It looked like it went bad. It didn't actually go bad, but it was too late.
It was too late. Yeah. And then the last one was called The Mortal Remains, and that one dealt with coming to accept death.
Yes.
Embracing
Ultimately,
death and stuff. Now, you can sit here and look at some of these and say they're also the seven deadly, the sins, with pride and all, and
well, and that's the Cohen brothers.
That's the Cohen brothers. There's
it
multiple
can mean
levels
whatever
and stuff like that.
it means to you.
And we actually, I think we were like halfway through the fifth one, and I'm like, do you have any idea what's going on? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay. And then the last one gets done. It's got Brendan Gleeson and where did it go?
John Joe O'Neill,
Saul Rubinik, Ty Daly, and it was so well done. And then you're like, oh my God, they're taking them up to heaven.
Or wherever.
Or wherever. and it's like, oh. And then you start going back in your mind and start thinking about all of the stuff that happened as you went along.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, each one of these dealt with a different style, a different reason for death. And
because I thought it was going to be Western. But again, it's the Coen brothers.
Right.
And
look over here. No, it means this. Look over here.
Right.
No, it means this.
Right. And the payoff's always at the end.
Yeah. There's a ton of people that are in this. James Franco, Clancy Brown, Brendan Gleeson, Liam Neeson, just tons and tons and tons of people. And you could do this when you have 6 different stories.
Yeah.
You're not having somebody come in and be there for 4 or 5 months to do this segment. You could have them in for a week.
Yeah.
And get them to come in and do stuff. And
yep.
I don't want this in every movie, but I really like the way this style of storytelling was done.
Yeah. Because you can pack in your little story, and you don't know who these people are. You don't know their backstory. You don't know where they came from, or it just plants you in a moment in time and shows you kind of what happened over that period of time.
Right,
I think the wagon train one was probably the longest, and it starts in a boarding house, and then they take off out on the wagon train for a couple of weeks or whatever before everything hits the fan. So that's probably in time span. That's probably the longest
one. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's performance is really, really good. There's no one stand out more than other because of you get short amount of time with them.
Yeah.
There is a really cool GIF or meme, depending on how you see it, with James Franco getting hung. It's been all over the internet, and the wording says when you see your kids cry the first time they see Lion King, and it's Franco kind of with the noose around his neck, leaning over and smiling. Oh, it's your first time, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
that was a funny little joke. But everybody's performance is equal to each other, and there's not one particular standout, which may help or hinder this movie depending on how you look at it. There's no come see James Franco in as Buster Scruggs.
That's
there's no T in it.
And he doesn't play Buster Scruggs.
Right.
But that again is Coen Brothers, right? So George Clooney in was George Clooney in Hail Caesar? No, he was in Burn After Reading and the
Minos Eric Coates.
No, oh yeah, he was in that one too.
Yeah.
The Man of Constant Sorrow. What the heck is the one after the Odyssey?
Oh, Brother Where Art Thou.
Oh, Brother Where Art Thou.
Actually, he was in Hail Caesar too.
Was he in Hail Caesar?
Yeah, he's the Roman they kidnapped.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They never do like a come see George Clooney. So why wasn't George Clooney in this? Come see George Clooney in blah blah blah, or Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is in Hail Caesar, or they never really do that. Matt Damon was in Suburbicon.
Yeah.
There's just famous people, but they never. Liam Neeson. That segment was almost half over before I realized it was Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
And James Franco too. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. It was such a unique storytelling plot that I think a lot of people are going to struggle with the story itself and what it really actually ended up being about and why it was done that way.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's a really well done, really, really good Coen Brothers, but really well done movie that's just on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it didn't get a wide release in like theaters and stuff like that. And so a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, what about that Coen Brothers movie? Where did that go? It was on Netflix. And it was just, if you got Netflix, it's a really easy watch. And
if you like Coen Brothers, you'll like it. If you don't like Coen Brothers, you may not get it.
You might struggle with it because it's like she said, it's not until the end where they really. And they don't like lay it out on a platter for you either. Right. They kind of give you hints and all the puzzle pieces along the way, and you get to the end, and although you don't have all the puzzle pieces, you can figure out what what they're trying to say,
or what it means to you,
So that's overall. I think we both liked it. Score?
Oh, we're gonna score it.
It's a movie.
Yes, it is.
Put on our 80 movies we've seen this year.
3.5.
Okay.
I liked it. I hadn't thought about scoring it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5.
I was at 3.5, 3.75.
Yeah.
3. I'll go 3.5 too because we're so original around here.
It's good. I think I might watch it one more time, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not like Men Who Scare Goats and Burn After Reading we've watched a ton. Brother, Where Art Thou? Every time it's on, we watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know the rewatchability of this just because, it's long. You need to commit.
You have to commit, and you also have to
pay attention.
That, and that sounds really weird, but that's an important part with movies when you are at home because you can sit there and be playing on your computer or playing your phone or whatever.
Right.
If this was a theater release and you were sitting in the theater watching it, you'd probably have a little bit different feel of that kind of thing. So that's our thoughts on the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. There's no T in it. And tell us what you guys think. Have you seen it? Did you like it? Score it, not rank it. That's definitely different. Score it. Just score it. Whatever it's called. Subscribe to the channel. Do whatever you want to do. Rank it amongst Coen Brother movies or just give it a score. Leave it in the comments. That's what I'm trying to say. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our social media stuff. It's all in the bio description. fuck it. Good afternoon, cult members.